Nice. It's 9 a.m. Oh, yeah. Here in L.A., California. And it is Wednesday, May 7th, A.D. 2025. And we're going to have a fun, hopefully, right? Loosey-goosey, the Hake Report show. I should be live on... Oh, let me go to the Hake Report on Pilled. Live on pilled.net/the Hake Report. I don't know how to raid the stream. I don't think I can, honestly. But thank you, Jason Lee Peterson on Rumble raiding the stream. I turned nice. I will take your calls if you'd like to call in 1-888-775-3773. I wasn't able to get to everybody yesterday, and so I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Anchor Baby, helping to set up my show so that I can function well enough over here. I act like I'm doing all independent, and it's better than before, right? I would say so. But lots of mess going on in the world. Indeed. Tons and tons of it. But this is the Hake Report, and we're used to the mess, aren't we? Some of the mess happens right here on Hake. It's terrible. Let me make sure that the audio is good and loud if I want it to be. Do. Oh yeah, sweet. Wow, look at the fires. There were fires in this is January footage of the fires, or smoke really. It even affected the air quality over Bond during those fires. It's terrible. What's up, Jupiter? Nice to see you. I noticed the ladies don't like each other. Do you notice that? Oh, terrible. Lord. 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes late. Terrible. No. What a mess. I'm going to have to do some math with my timestamps over here. Oh, Lord. I hate that. But that's okay. It's my fault. So, yeah, did you notice that the ladies don't like each other? Can you believe it? Ladies don't like each other. They can't we all just get along? I had this caller yesterday all mad and jealous because some gal, envious, somewhat, sour grapes, we'll call it. Some other gal did the same thing she did, slightly different circumstances. Said the N-word to a black, or two, and went viral over it, and got rewarded because she perhaps was maybe more ladylike about it. She was no nasty, necessarily. But they're looking down and finding ways to judge one another. And it comes to mind because even the ladies in the chat sometimes, we call it the snake pit. Even the males are ladies, basically. Hello, ladies in the chat. All of you guys. What's up, Jupiter? Even Jupiter's kind of mean to some of the ladies, I heard. Is Jupiter because Jupiter's the one who makes me make a dolphin sound, right? Ladies, calm down. You know? What was it that had me thinking the ladies shouldn't? Because I've been saying the ladies shouldn't worry their pretty little heads about politics or speak and stuff like that. They get in trouble. They can't protect themselves. They get punched. They get bloodied faces if they're wearing glasses while getting punched. Like that pro-life POC, WOC, woman of color, gal. got punched by a pro-abortion gal. What a mess. I disavow it. So, ladies, we love you. We love the ladies. If we love anybody, we're trying to save you. That's not love. That's lame. I'm chuckling because of the selfishness, the utter selfishness of the gents. And we use the term loosely of us gentlemen. Not so gentle. More like selfish males rather than gentlemen. Trying to save these gals. What's up, White Wings, Maven? White Wings 1776. Smart Poker. Good morning. Hey, it is morning to me, and it's morning to many of you, but it's early afternoon back east and among you guys. But isn't it so? You don't even realize that. How selfish you are and how obvious you are being a simp out of your own lame-o selfishness. Simping is selfish. By simping, I mean giving money to the gals, praising the gals. I want to praise you every day. Like that dance song. It's so obvious, but people are so oblivious to how obvious they are, and they've basically forgotten or won't be honest that that's what their motivation is, to get with these gals or stay with them, get these gals. And then you have an excuse to stay with them because they're getting better. That's a woman lie. He's getting better. And males will say that. She's getting better. Lame-o excuses. Excuses. What's up, Commander Kim, Tarantula, Age of Inversion, Jules Verne? Over there on the Rumble crew. Whole lot of mess, right? Some serious mess. So I gotta add 2 minutes. Add like 2:30-ish to my notes. Timestamps. Okay. Anyway, guys, there is one line open, 1-888-775-3773. The lines are filling up. Shout out to our greatest president, Trump, right? I think he's doing a good job. Before I get started here, I've seen footage of these people, beautiful footage, by the way, looking at the ocean and the beautiful, obvious globe, by the way. Crisp horizon. A vanishing point does not exist. It would be a vanishing fuzz, not a vanishing point. A point, vanishing point, that is a theory for art, so that you can draw something that looks sort of realistic on a two-dimensional paper, right? Paper's basically 2D, and you draw something on the surface, and it looks sort of 3D if you're using single-point perspective or two-point perspective. And so single-point perspective or even two-point perspective, you think you have vanishing point or points. And you don't. It doesn't exist. It would be vanishing fuzz. This is a drop-off, clear, crisp, beautiful line. I get that as you get closer and closer to the horizon, you go many, many more miles or meters or whatever per little millimeter of vision, if you will, or per degree of vision, whatever. But no, obvious globe. But shout out to the flat earthers. We love you. If we love anybody, you're welcome here. You are seen and heard and respected. Despite that we scoff at your assertions and assumptions. Many people are we're no better. What is wrong with our minds? Oh, it's okay. So I got off on the flat earth thing talking about that, but I wanted to express a little bit of appreciation for our greatest president, Trump, before I get started here, because Trump is a man who thinks clearly. in terms of what's important. And there are other men who think clearly about what's important. They have like they're able to express themselves clearly about what is the ridiculous things going on in the country. And actually, like, I have some like newfound respect for some of these guys who are, very hyped and popular and stuff. I appreciate some of these competitors of mine who are presenting the plain truth about, for example, the fake racism thing. I'm talking about this interview that I saw, this panel discussion and interview with the Give, Send, Go owner or co-owner or head or whatever, co-head, Christian man, and Piers Morgan, and a panel of my competitors, whom I shan't name because I don't want you going over there. Stay on Hake. But some of them presented themselves really well, and some of them presented hell really well. I'm laughing because at the end of this interview, this guy got all high-pitched, I could barely recognize his voice, saying, "Don't say the N-word, I'm going to be the victim." Don't bait her to say the N-word, I'm going to be a victim. Shout out. But beautiful Piers Morgan, I really appreciate him. He was on CNN. He was on Commie Nonsense Network pushing his anti-American, anti-Second Amendment views, and now he's on, I don't know, his own platform pushing his anti-First Amendment views. And phony trying to hold Christian to his idea of morality views, where he thinks there's such a thing as racial abuse and that we need to protect children from racial abuse. Lord, have mercy. That's not going to do any good to the child to abuse a beautiful mother with tattoos who said the N-word to this alleged young thief, and they're presenting like he's 5 years old, this young boy. I don't know if he's 5. They're presenting like he's autistic. I don't know if that's true, but they spouting that as fact. I don't care. It's time to hold the autistic people responsible. If you hold them responsible, they may hold themselves responsible and get better and not be all out of control because they're given the excuse. What, you want them to become like the blacks? Get constantly given the excuse to be angry and out of control because they're angry? I was out of control because I was angry, and they think that's an excuse or justification. It's an explanation, but it's not right. It's not right. Shout out to the blacks and the autistic and the ladies and those of us who act just like them at times. What a mess. So I guess I didn't really talk about Trump. I talked about that. But anyway, right on, our greatest president. He doesn't know if he has to give... What process, by the way... What process are illegals due? I don't know. I don't think they're due much process at all. The same process they came here illegally is the same process we should send them out of here illegally. I'm half kidding about that because, you know, I want it to be an orderly and fair sending of them out. And I prefer what Trump is doing, prioritizing the bad hombres. And hopefully he's prioritizing as well the las mujeres malas. Are there any, is there such a thing as a bad woman? The bad ladies, the bad gals. Not just the men, the gals too. And their children with them. And I think he's done that. He's sent their quote-unquote American children with their mothers That way he's not separating families. I say he, but it's his people. And right on. They want illegals to stay here, and they pretend like it's constitutional and upholding the law and due process. All of a sudden, they care about due process. Please, give me a break. You know? Ridiculous. But, anyway, guys, 15 minutes into the show, let's just get right on. The lines are full. We'll get to your calls right now. By right now, I mean a couple minutes. With the show! Oh, no! Hold on. Boomer Hake. I forgot that I muted this. Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. And isn't this nice? Isn't this footage so nice? I love it. Beautiful. Makes me want to go there again. I haven't been in a little while. This is San Onofre State Beach, I think. And, nice. Shout out. It's down near San Clemente, California. It's like a couple hours south of here. Plus or minus 30 minutes or an hour. So, very nice, huh? Pretty. Sweet. But, you know, I'd like to, like I said, I'd like to get to the calls. Okay, right away. Chase in Texas is on the line over here. Chase, thank you for calling and holding, man. You're live. What's up?
Hey, what's up again, Hake?
Good to hear from you. Doing fine.
Yeah, so what was the whole deal with the, kind of refresh my memory here, what was the deal with the people in the bar and the sign, the anti-Semitic sign or whatever they're calling it?
You know, I saw a little bit about that on X, and actually I heard about it, I think, from JLP's producer, but Jesse covered today on his show in the first hour, I think. Dave Portnoy, whom I've heard of him. I've seen him on Fox News, Faux News. I don't really watch a lot of Fox News, so I'm not a Fox News watcher, but I do appreciate them. And he's like this sort of a hit and miss, somewhat conservative, friendly, independent thinking, Jewish, I guess I would call him a liberal, owner of a sports bar, I guess, apparently, and a sports media outlet, sports-related media outlet, and he's become sort of pertinent in the culture because he has some fair, somewhat cultural commentary. You know, he has that high verbal IQ that so many of those people do. Shout out.
Yeah, word foolery, yeah.
Well, I wasn't saying that it was a negative, but anyway, he apparently some customer or something wanted a vulgar word, the Jews or something like that. And they got that on their sign for their bottle service, some expensive fancy dancy thing, in a bar over in, I forget which city. And he caught wind of it and fired the employees who complied with this customer. And I don't know if this customer was the Muslim guy who's like this young Mexican-looking, but he's Muslim-looking to young hip guy, Khan.
Right.
And so
yeah,
I don't know.
I saw that picture.
He got so mad he was shaking, according to him, and he wanted at first to send them to Auschwitz, the German concentration camp, they call it, and educate this guy. But then he changed his mind. No, they're just going to get fired and forget them. I want to destroy them. So that's
Okay, so
that's
they
that
didn't
victimhood, identity, anger mess.
Yeah, well, they didn't follow through with the Auschwitz thing.
No, I think he changed his mind on that. Last I heard, but I could be mistaken. I don't really know.
I mean, hey,
Dave
that's a pretty
Portnoy.
sweet deal.
I know.
Yeah,
I'd totally go. I would want to see. I would want to go. Oh, that's not Israel. But I would.
Well, it's Austria.
but it's-
Austria has Prague.
Oh,
and they
really?
say
That's
Yeah.
Austria? I thought
believe
it was
so.
Germany.
Yeah.
Terrible.
No, it's the same thing.
Neighbor.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Neighbor. Yeah.
You know,
Austrians,
it's all
correct me if I'm
Austria.
wrong, Austrians, but you speak Deutsch. You're basically Germans. Hate it or love it, you do. Anyway, go ahead. Deutsch is German, right? It's German for German.
Yeah, Deutsch is German. I think Austria might have a more extensive history when it comes to certain things because of the Ottomans or something like that. But I'm not an expert.
Me neither. Yeah, you know that about me. Take
Halfway.
everything I just said and will say and do say with a grain of salt, as with my callers. What's your comment on Dave Portnoy, this sports liberal Jewish guy who's gotten angry about a really a minor but immature and ugly, I would call it. It's ugly, the F word, or to the F word about something. That's kind of messed up. What do you say about it?
Well, I mean, I haven't really read it. And I don't think I heard about it was earlier on JLP, but
yeah,
it sounds like a typical liberal Jewish response, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and he's not even that liberal, but he's liberal enough to be like that. And I think that's what people fall into if they have an identity with something. If they have a Maven says Portnoy is a B word, meaning lame-o, weak person.
Well, I mean,
a girl.
Hey, yeah, this kind of. I've known some Jews in my time, and to be honest with you, man, I've never actually straight met a liberal Jew. I think I met one, but it was a female. I don't think that counts that much.
Right.
But I'm not a massive Jew hater. I think some people have wanted me to be a massive Jew hater, and I'm just like, nah.
Right on.
I mean, individuality is a thing, and if you respect individuality, you got to respect the individuality of a Jew, regardless of how much you hate them or not. So, but what I'm saying doesn't get you in trouble. Yeah, man, I just thought that was kind of funny when I heard that. They said going to Prague like it was some kind, or not going to Auschwitz and touring like it was some kind of punishment. Like, come on, man.
But it's more like an education, and that I kind of liked that approach. You know, like make them go there if they want. You know, it's kind of cool.
So basically an international re-education camp.
right. Yeah, but I would be for it if it were like a voluntary thing, or let's say it's his employees, but he's not doing it, so it's kind of moot. But I totally would. It would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, it'd be cool as hell. But that's to actually, if he's funding it though, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. No, I think he realized that he didn't want to do that.
Well, and you know that
I think
if that guy wasn't brown, if he was white, they probably wouldn't. Let's just be honest. They probably would have been like, "You're getting fired, and we're going to make you apologize publicly to every Jew in America and Europe." And
was that
everything.
guy
Yeah,
his customer? Was that the Muslim guy? Was that a customer or the employee?
Oh, good question. I don't remember. That came and gone now, so I don't remember.
Yeah.
Altogether, though, it's a BS story. Every bit of it
speech.
BS.
Yeah.
It's publicity. It's just that whole look how great we are for defending the poor little Jews, and people are getting fed up with that. They're getting fed up with that.
Yeah, we're kind of done with the victimhood here.
Yeah.
It's definitely he's overreacting. he could definitely fire them. I'm not against firing them or punishing
Well, no,
them on
because it
some
was
level.
stupid. It was stupid.
Right.
Just like Jesse said.
Yeah.
What is it going to do sending them over there? Is it going to make them stop?
Oh no, I wasn't thinking about the stupidity of sending them over there. I'm thinking about the stupidity of actually putting that sign, F Jews or whatever they put.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the
move.
context. I don't know if it was a dare or what the intent was, but it's I get that
Well,
people
how
say
old
F
were
this,
they?
F that at bars and in the sports world, but
I mean, you're old enough to drink in a public place. You're old enough not to know not to put up a sign like that. That's just asking for trouble.
yeah, I know. A lot of times this stuff, there's no repercussions, at least not at first. As with crimes, a lot of times people get away with actual real crimes.
Yeah, that happens.
And you don't realize, you don't really think about the consequences. I heard your brain is not even developed until you're 25, so you can drink at 21, and then your brain develops at 25 fully.
So you
may
destroy your
may
brain.
not realize. Well, you just do something stupid, and then people try to smear you about it forever.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah,
That'll happen a lot.
true. Lose a lot of friends that way over.
Yeah, but I mean,
mess.
sometimes you lose friends you needed to lose in the first place.
Yeah, true. And it's not that big of a deal there. Really, it's better to. Sometimes that's how you learn, is by doing those errors, and down the road, hopefully those ex-friends, for their sake, will forgive you, or you forgive them, and you become a mature adult.
Well, I like the saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
That's pretty true.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Sometimes you can play a game and you don't actually lose, and then when you finally do lose, you're, by the grace of God, you're like, well, I'm so glad I didn't lose at that other game and I lost at this game instead.
Good point. Oh yeah.
Let's try to take that as you won that, I guess. But anyway, all right, man. I'm doing a bunch of stuff here on a
Good to
computer,
hear from you, man.
So yeah.
Thank you, Chase.
Thanks for taking my call.
All right. Take care. Bye. Let me just plow through these calls, baby. Shall I? Terry in Oregon is on the line over here. Terry, thank you for calling and holding.
Oh,
How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you, Hake?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Oh, I hope this is okay. I don't have anything negative to say about another caller, but I
Darn.
was inspired by. No, I got in trouble with you for that before, for beefing.
Oh, for beefing. Yeah, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
But I was inspired by Stephanie calling in yesterday.
Nice.
Karen.
Stephanie Bagel Queen. I forgot that she's
Yeah.
Bagel Queen, not Bagel Karen. Karen is an
Yeah.
anti-white, anti-woman thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful Bagel Queen was
Mhm.
sour grapes, and you understood her.
I understood her frustration.
Nice.
I listened.
Right
and
on.
I didn't judge because I've been there. It's hard when you're a woman and you're out here breaking the glass ceiling, and then, years later you get to see like all these women profiting
Right.
and seeming to have so much an easier time than you did, and
Right.
the devil can get in there and manipulate you and start like making you think that you should have what other people have because things seem to be easier for them than you. And
Yeah.
then you start thinking that you were more righteous when you said the N-word than this person. Yeah,
Yep.
It's tough.
Yeah, because you see the differences and you think that you're better by those differences.
Mhm.
And then you also see the differences and you think you're a victim by those differences. And it's
Mhm.
just it's a big mess. I definitely understood the spiral she was in. I don't know if I handled it the best. I don't know if I handled it right, but I did the best I could with her at the
Yeah,
time.
I think you did okay. I mean, it's one thing to understand, and then it's also, she's a person that needs advice that's gonna, assist her in her
Yeah.
life. And
True.
kind of point her in the right direction. So you can only do so much as one individual talking to her.
But you're not supposed to correct an angry person, and she was clearly angry from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So she wasn't really asking for advice, really. She was calling to vent, I think, and maybe get some understanding. So right on, Terry. Thank you for understanding the Bagel Queen. I understand her too. It was interesting seeing how nasty she got. She got kind of nasty towards me, it seemed like. And I understand that too, because I was constructive criticism, I thought.
Yeah, and you laughed because it's a silly situation.
Yeah, true. And the devil does not like you laughing at her.
No.
I get that. Yep.
I do think, I don't know, like, I definitely will not be using the N-word now, or at least I'll be charging if anybody wants me to use the N-word.
They have to pay you?
All this has gone down. Yeah.
They have to pay you
I think
in
so.
advance or afterwards?
I won't say it for free now that I know what's possible out there.
Right.
And I think all white ladies should, follow suit.
Maybe so. Yeah, and because
N-word fee.
Yeah, I find it interesting that the white ladies are the ones going viral doing this. The white men, sometimes they may say it, but they don't really go as viral for it. And
you know why? I think it's more, I think people who shove a camera in someone's face are less likely to do that to a man because they're more afraid of like physical violence than with a woman, especially a woman that's like holding a kid or like,
right.
If a woman tries to grab your phone and you're a grown man, it's not, she's going to have to work a lot harder than another grown man coming at you saying the N-word, I think,
Yeah.
And it's also just, I don't know, there's a real hatred for white women specifically that people eat up too. So
that's true. And white women are bolder in their speech. Women in general are bolder in their speech. Not necessarily in a good way, they don't get consequences for their words as much as men do.
I mean,
they're allowed
Bagel
to.
Queen
They're allowed
definitely
to.
Did.
Yeah, but they're allowed. Well, she didn't get hit though, and they're allowed to pop off at the mouth. Women in general are, and I just noticed that women. I've noticed this since childhood, actually, or adolescence, that girls tend to seem in families tended to seem a little more outgoing, a little better adjusted. This is just generally speaking. Many, many exceptions. Than the boys, the men, who seem more subdued, introverted, shy, doubtful, less well adjusted. There's some boys and men who are very outgoing. I think of those boys, those twin, they're not twins, those brothers who, one of them is a boxer, the other one is a WWE wrestler. They're YouTubers, Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Those guys are not shy, but they're definitely fall for the racism thing, but that's beside the point. Those guys are very outgoing. Trump always been outgoing. JLP, I think he's always been outgoing. But there's men who are just more subdued and beta. And the women have the appearance of more confidence and able to speak up, whether it's the right way or wrong way. Have you noticed that? Even within a family, the girls seem better adjusted socially.
I think, well, I read something that women speak way more words a day than men do on average. It's maybe over 1,000 words a day. I'd have to look it up again to see, but I just think that's in women's nature to be more verbally communicative.
Yeah.
And
they'll talk your ear off sometimes.
Slower. Yeah.
They tend to be what?
Men tend to be slower to speak.
Right. Which actually sometimes is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to control your tongue as long as you can.
Yeah.
I also think it's a good thing to say something if something's, wrong.
I agree.
I don't think
sometimes
that's wrong, but you shouldn't I don't know. I think both these women were probably wrong, and you know.
So you think beautiful Bagel Queen and beautiful Shiloh, these mothers, were probably both wrong?
Yeah, I think so.
But they were within their rights. It's not like they're not that wrong that anybody should overreact to them at all.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's, no, they shouldn't have been like turned into some kind of symbol of like hate or something because they popped off once in anger. Like,
yeah, right.
But I also, when you're angry, you're wrong.
True.
So,
yeah. I don't think that she should have. I saw the Shiloh gal in the playground. The guy. I noticed that every single time they pretend to be so offended, but then they say it again, say it on camera. Pierce Morgan tried to get this other gal, Lily, to say it on air. This Somalian, whatever this guy was, who was recording her on the playground, trying to get her to say it. Blacks will say it again. Sometimes blacks will say, don't say that again. I think that this black Hispanic guy said, don't say it again to that 70-something-year-old old man who got punched out for saying the N-word at the Dunkin' Donuts. He said, don't say it again, I think. And
he got punched out?
He got killed.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, yeah.
I'll look this up. Whoa.
Yeah.
Just for saying the N-word?
Right, because he got mad because they weren't giving good service or something, and he said, you N-words or something. I don't know. According to the story. Like, there's no recording of it. But when I looked at the picture of this guy who got killed, 77 years old or something, he looked like he might have said it. Just his look. I believed it.
There's a look they have.
Right. I mean, it was in, like, Kentucky or somewhere. I don't know. But, yeah, but a lot of the times they bait you to say it.
That's true. I mean, I've had people do it to me too.
Yeah.
And I'm not even quick to pop off with that word. Like,
right.
Like, say it. Like, they want to get a thrill out of it, like a white girl saying the N-word.
Yeah. Hey, Stephanie, Bagel Queen in my chat right now. Shout out.
Hey, Stephanie. I hope she's not offended by my, like, I do understand where she's coming from, and I totally feel her pain. When she called in, I was like, I've been there when I've seen people rewarded for, like, something, I've struggled with,
right.
In the past. And
life isn't
like,
fair.
What the heck?
Yeah, different situations, totally different outcomes. But, you sort of bring the outcome of your life upon yourself, whether or not, and I'm not just talking about the immediate money and all that stuff. I'm just talking about with your attitude. People respond to an attitude and a spirit that you don't even realize that you're giving off.
Right.
So, shout out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I also think a lot of it is just timing, too,
Yeah, timing for sure. She's kind of right that it was one of those steps. She was not the first at all.
She's like Hillary Clinton.
Dr. Laura. Remember Dr. Laura Schlesinger?
Yeah. I love Dr. Laura.
JLP's friend, by the way. He was friends with her.
She's amazing. She's so smart. And she gives great advice.
She had a call with a black lady 10, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. And this black lady was so offended by something, and she said, you shouldn't be offended by words. You should not be controlled by it. And then she said, so if I say it, and she said it all lovingly and nice, and the woman gets offended, and then she has to like apologize, gets kind of forced off the air. Maybe it was a huge controversy. JLP has a YouTube video defending her from the early YouTube days. But there's been many a white woman. Dr. Laura, I think, is Jewish, right? But white enough to be hated,
She's half Jewish.
Okay. Remember Bill Maher? He was talking
he's half Jewish, too.
Oh, really? He was talking
He's Irish. He's what people accuse me of being.
Oh, really? He's Irish?
Yeah. He's Irish, yeah.
I don't like that term. How about,
Why?
can we say, you Irish? I don't know.
No.
Whatever.
Why don't you like Irish?
I prefer Jewish Irish because I've never liked Blasian. It just sounds wrong. Black Asian. So, whatever. But he said, Senator, I'm a house Inger. To that rhino who hates Trump. One of the rhinos who hates Trump. Because this guy from Iowa or somewhere wanted to work in the fields with him. And he had to like grovel. He didn't have to, but he did. And what a mess. People are sick of this.
Yeah, it is a bit much.
Yeah.
And
it's dumb.
you know, it's also, yeah.
And everybody
I think
knows
they're
that
tired
it's
of
dumb.
the bullying too, you know, when somebody makes a mistake or does something wrong to have them like, you know, unfairly punished. I think people are tired of that culture or cancel culture in general. So.
For sure. Yeah. Right
well,
on.
shout out to all those who broke the glass ceiling so that we could, you know, be out here being more free.
Cool.
All right. Thanks for taking my call, Hake.
Of course. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I got to get to Ronnie in Ohio on the line over here. Ronnie, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
My brother Hake, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Ronnie?
All is well. I can't complain.
Nice. Before we get to the topic, do you have anything to add or say or comment on this N-word controversy and mess?
I'm what you call a free speech absolutist.
Yeah.
I don't think people should be attacked for speaking and showing how dumb or ignorant they might be.
Yeah.
I think they should be able to, they should have the freedom to say whatever they want. Now, obviously there are consequences and repercussions.
Oh, darn.
I don't think people should be like, I don't think people should get violent if somebody says something wrong to them.
Right.
Like you expect that in the third grade classroom. So,
Yeah.
You know, kid A says something about kid B mom and kid B's mom, and then kid B punches kid A. Like that type of stuff I expect from a third grade classroom, not from adults. So I don't think people should be triggered to violence just from words. Yeah. But I get it. It's, you know, that's
the world we live in, though. Whether it should or shouldn't. I believe in freedom from consequences. You know, I believe in the spirit of the freedom of speech, with exceptions, of course. Like people, I freely ban and block people on my, you know, in my snake pit and stuff, and on X and places, because there's a place for blocking and banning. There's a time for that. But in terms of trying to punish somebody, like I block or ban or demod people for saying or doing stuff that's like a little kooky or crazy. But it's not like a punishment in my mind. It's just a, you know, protect my channel and protect, I like to keep a decent atmosphere on the Hake Report. But to punish somebody, to have that spirit of punishment, I feel like that's a, I know that is a communist thing to say freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. You know, I know that is an evil spirit, but they don't have the spirit of the freedom of speech when they're going after somebody and trying to get them fired from their jobs and doxing and, of course, like you said, threatening and being violent. That's all evil.
Yeah, all that stuff. If somebody says something you don't like, so you decide to call their job to get them fired, I'm just like, it doesn't undo the fact that they said whatever they said. So if them saying it was that bad, making them lose their job for it, you know, that's that false sense of I got revenge, and that's not biblical either. That's
and that's not
right in line with that's doing the devil's work.
Right. That doesn't lead people to repentance. If let's say you were wrong when you said the N-word, that doesn't lead you to repentance. That's intimidation. That's evil mama spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I love white people that like to say the N-word if they think that they can just get away with it. I would rather the bigotry, the ignorance, and the racism be on display as opposed to being concealed.
Yeah.
So I'll just say wear your goofy heart on your sleeve so I can know what's going on. as opposed to smiling in my face and calling me an N-word behind my back.
That's part of the reason I think that blacks do hate whites is that whites have been, if you allowed themselves, let's say, to be bullied and intimidated into fake niceness, and that's not, and people can detect your fake niceness, your oppressed restraint, and people don't appreciate that. They like real, they like open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah. That's where I'm at on this issue. More power to her for raising the money that she did.
Yeah.
Which was the same thing I said about people donating to Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
Like, that's according to the courts, giving money away is free speech. So if it's
True.
okay for Elon Musk to give $2 million out to try to get a Republican judge elected, if that's okay, and if it's okay for Carmelo Anthony's supporters to give him money, I guess it's okay for Shiloh's supporters to give her money. So
yeah, she didn't kill anybody. Yeah, totally. And even if he killed somebody, there's all this, they're definitely doxxed, and they need a bit of security. There's people who hate them, the family of this young man and him, and would try to get him. So I'm for them getting security. They need it. So nice. Anyway, you wanted to talk about Trump, I think.
Yes, I wanted to give you a second stab at the question that I proposed to you about how we grade Donald Trump and his administration so far.
Yeah.
Other than immigration, I was asking what categories or what areas you would give him an A or an A+ in.
Yeah.
I think last time you mentioned his spirit.
Yes.
And that was kind of where you stopped. So I didn't know if he's only getting an A from you in immigration and in his spirit, or if there are other things that you wanted to add to it.
I do like the downsizing of the government, the shrinking of the government. That is something that's taking place under him. He's not doing a lot of the direction on it, I guess, but he brought in Elon Musk, and Elon Musk got this Doge thing started, and I guess Elon has stepped away. But I do really appreciate the deregulation and shrinking of the government. And I like the tariff thing, honestly. I appreciate his outside-of-the-box thinking with this tariff thing. In your lifetime, do you remember hearing about tariffs on this level?
In high school, when we did history and we learned about the tariff of abominations, right around the time of Andrew Jackson becoming president.
Tariffs of abominations. What are abominations?
The tariff of abominations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like alcohol or something?
No, that's prohibition.
What's a tariff?
Abomination. You usually hear abomination in the Bible where they say like homosexuality is an abomination.
Right.
Those types of things. But yeah, I think it was 1828. Don't quote me.
Okay.
The tariff of abominations. There were tariffs that were on. Those tariffs then really were hurting the southern states, and they threatened to secede from the Union.
Oh, was it tariff on imports of slaves or something? I think it was on exports, primarily with cotton. I think that's what it was. I would have to do some brushing up on it. Oh, So we tariff to export too. You're saying?
It hurt the southern economy because the South was kind of based. It was more based on cotton, King Cotton, and then free labor / slave labor.
Right.
To where the North was industrialized. So New York was okay with the tariffs. Those northern New England states were good with it, but the South was not.
Yeah.
And I think John C. Calhoun, I think that's who it was. He was threatening to secede from the Union as early as 1828. It didn't happen until Lincoln got elected some 30, 40 years later. But that was the first time I remember hearing about tariffs in a significant way.
Yeah. I think about how divided the country is, because you bring up the North and the South. And they were divided, but the South, I think, was perhaps more desperate because the South was poorer per capita, I think. I know that a lot of the plantation owners were pretty well-to-do, but they were getting squeezed, I guess, maybe from these tariffs and these different things that the North was doing that the South didn't like, but the North had more power, I guess. And today we're very divided, but we're more, rather than desperate, at least financially and in our making a living divided, we're more spoiled divided, where everybody's, people are in debt and stuff, but they're able to live and eat. They're not hungry in America, but they're spoiled divided like crazy. The spiritual division in this country, I don't think that a civil war could break out because people are so divided from neighbor to neighbor. It is not geographic, but it's so crazy how the division is. It's evil, the hatred. It's
really
interesting
bad.
to me. And
it's
I think
really,
that Trump,
really bad.
I personally think that's another thing that I really like Trump on, is that he's not one, you may chuckle at this, but I plainly believe it to be true. He's not one to stoke that anger and division. He is one to bring a calming, truthful, honest, refreshing presence to the country that can actually if anyone can unite the country in a decent way on some level, it's Trump.
I disagree with you on that. Maybe just based on my different perspective.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump is a uniter. Definitely not the uniter that we would need. Anybody that in this climate as divided as we are, like, it might not even come from somebody that's going to be running for president.
Right.
If we were to have somebody that came to unite us.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Do you know why I say that?
I think you're shedding light on the times where he does shed light on the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If you focus on that part of it, then yeah, what you're saying is true. But I think that not all the time, but most of the time when he's speaking, it's not a calming, uniting tone or word choice. I think he's very good at othering certain groups of people and showing them as being the enemy, and it's not always based on race. It's
right.
usually based on if he likes them or not. If it's somebody in the media that says something he likes, they're good. If he's getting negative press from them, then they're the enemy of the people.
Right.
So it's hard for me to look at Trump as president and him labeling certain parts of the press as the enemy of the people just for what they say. That goes back to the first question you asked me when it comes to free speech. If the press can't say what they want without consequences of being labeled the enemy from the president, then, it's going to be hard to apply that rule to everybody.
But to me, Trump is telling the truth about those people. Like JLP, I'm sure, and I have both said and agree that a lot of these people are the enemy of the people. The liberal media, because the liberal media is very dishonest and don't tell the whole truth, very emotional, and that emotion makes them dishonest. Very intellectual, and so they're kind of fake, fair nitpickers when they're ignoring the big picture truth. So I really appreciate that about him because he's the only one. It's like a pressure release. Somebody's telling the plain truth on a big stage, and it's so refreshing. It's such a relief to hear somebody saying it, and I love that. I think that's a uniting factor, and even though they may overreact to being called the enemy of the people, him saying that, for the most part, normal people don't take that. It's a relief. They don't hate them as much. I
agree with you. It's a relief when he tells the truth, but it's also it's unsettling when he doesn't tell the truth, when he's dabbling in lies or he's spreading misinformation, whether it's on purpose or not. That's when things get dangerous. So he plays both sides of the fence, and that's why I can't label him as the uniter or even a uniter.
What's
he tells the truth sometimes, but he really likes to say things that other people are thinking and they just don't feel comfortable saying out loud. And just because he does that and gives them a voice, that doesn't mean that it's the truth.
What's an example or two or three, if you can think of them off the top of your head, about his telling unsettling untruths?
Okay, so one very recent one.
Yeah.
There's a Photoshop picture of that guy that got, I would say, exported from the United States.
Right.
And there was a photo. Yeah, that guy. There was a Photoshop video, that Photoshop picture of his tattoos.
Right.
Trump
MS-13.
still thinks that he thinks that his actual tattoos are literally labeled MS-13.
It definitely made it sound like that the way he said it, huh? Such a boomer.
Well, not even that. Like, there was one guy that was interviewing him and tried to, like, at least shed light on that and correct him on it.
I heard that on Anchor Baby, I think.
Yeah, and he wouldn't budge. He wouldn't move on in the conversation. He was like, "No, we're not talking until you believe me with that this Photoshop picture is actually real." And I'm like, it's not real. But if you are that rooted in trying to convince somebody or change somebody's mind from the truth to something that's not true, that's where I'm like, yeah, he's good at being persuasive, and it's not always a good thing.
But I really liked that about him because he stood on that, and they're trying to cast doubt as to the type of person that this person was. And I don't know. I agree with you. I think it kind of sounded like he was a boomer who actually thought that was the real thing, because I could picture that happening with me and Jesse pointing out some technical thing, and Jesse thinks it's something different from what it actually is. But it is so perfect because it just shows that this is a bad hombre. I have illegal friends. None of them have tattoos that I can think of. And I get that the younger generation gets tattoos willy-nilly. I was thinking on the drive over here, there's some lovable tattooed people like that rapper, singer, country guy, Post Malone. He has tattoos all over his face, and he seems like a lovable guy. I don't know. And these younger generations are like that. But but this guy, I think he was right. I think Trump, the administration, was kind of right to export him. I don't think it was really illegal. I get that it was in violation inadvertently, maybe, of an order to send him to El Salvador, but I don't think it really applies 6 years later, my opinion. But anyway, I loved that he pressed on that, because media loves to like undermine and harp on these one-off victim stories if you want to cast this guy as somewhat of a victim. And Trump is like, no, this is a bad hombre.
Yeah. And I think it's okay to lay out how bad that guy might be. Yeah. And then how negative his overall value is on being in the country. I think it's all good to point all that stuff out. Yeah. I push back on somebody that can't agree on simple facts. That's where I was pushing back. I'm not even like in step with the Democrats fighting so hard to go to bat for that guy.
Of course not.
Like,
yeah.
I know there were some that took trips down there during Easter break to really, really fight super hard for this guy to be in the country. And I'm like, it's a bunch of other citizens here that could use some assistance, use some help, use some support, and rather than go to bat for those Americans, they're down there and committing a lot of time, effort, and resources to getting that guy back here. So when it comes to that issue and that particular individual, I think both parties are kind of failing the country.
No, man, I think Trump is doing the country a great service by getting these people out of here and targeting the worst ones first. I heard that Obama was targeting more the people who are working at jobs. And I get that Trump is doing that too, and it's good to get the people who even are working jobs, the illegals, But I differ with you that was an unsettling moment, because that was an amusing moment, and it was a thrilling. I loved it because it was getting to the truth is bigger and more important than any misstatement of facts.
I won't miss the forest for the trees on that.
Yeah.
again, as far as like the whole topic goes with that individual, I don't really care what side of the fence you're on.
So I didn't find that unsettling.
And I know Trump's doing what his supporters want him to do. The thing that was unsettling was him trying to force that reporter to agree with him on something that's not true. That's what I mean.
Right.
If he'll drill down that hard on something that's not true, how many other untrue things is he out there drilling down on to try to get people to believe that's a falsehood? That's why I said it was unsettling. To be that dedicated to something that's not true and to try to spread that and impose that is like, nah.
But it kind of is true because he had the marijuana leaf, the cross for the, no, I forget the smile for the S, marijuana leaf for M, the smile for the S, the cross for, I guess, the 1, and the whatever something for the 3, for the MS-13, MS-13. So it does, in a sense, it says MS-13 according to their best thing, and all of a sudden the media wants to question the government when the media did not question the government about January 6th, about smearing some of these January 6ers falsely. And so that's more unsettling to me. Trump was stuck hard on a something that you and I agree was a questionable fact. I couldn't really tell, but I think you're right. And it was, couldn't you picture Jesse like that? He's just stubborn on something, but he has the truth, but he's just stuck on something that just doesn't even really, like, it's a side note. It's literally a side note.
Yes. Now you're saying what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To kind of make that a mountain out of that molehill, and it's something that's debatable at best.
Did you hear Anchor Baby's coverage?
Come on, President Trump. I did not.
You got to check out Anchor Baby's coverage of that. That was the day I was out. I went to the dentist that day, and I was listening to Anchor Baby at the dentist. It was the 30th. It was 1 week ago.
The 30th. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, and so he covered that, and he loved it because Anchor Baby made such a good point that there are hills you let go. You know, there are battles that you let go, and then there are hills that you die on. So you got to check out Anchor Baby.
You got to put that on the shirt.
And you got
I like that phrase.
And you gotta let me or Anchor Baby or JLP or somebody know what you think of that.
yeah, absolutely. You said it was the 30th?
Yeah, April 30th.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I checked that. Yep. Before I jump off, I did want to respond to Mark.
Mark. Oh, yeah, beautiful Mark in Los Angeles.
Yep, yeah, and I'm definitely open and willing to have a conversation with him, obviously on a different day. I think I've been on for like 20 minutes now.
Right.
But he was saying he wanted somebody, or me in particular, to defend black violent crime statistics, and then to speak on like the low black IQ, I guess. I would say only an idiot would defend violent criminals.
Right.
So I won't stand here and defend violent criminals. So he would have to either ask a different question or be a little more specific on that. If black people, quote unquote, commit more than 50% of violent crimes, I would want to know what those statistics say about other races.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would want to look at nonviolent crime as well. Me personally, I would rather somebody punch me in the face than to be taken advantage of for thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in fraud. So I would rather the violent crime happen to me than the nonviolent.
Whoa, I don't know. I feel like thousands, tens of thousands. I wouldn't want to. Have you been punched in the face before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've wrestled with people, and I don't know if I've ever been punched in the face. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want to put that idea in anybody's mind. Anyway, interested. Thank you, Ronnie, in Ohio.
Yep. So that's that perspective on that. As far as the IQ, I haven't taken the IQ test. He doesn't know my IQ score. So if he wants to know why the quote-unquote black IQ score is so low, because I haven't taken the test yet. So if he wants to do a one-on-one type test and see if his IQ is higher than mine, I'm more than willing to do that.
Ronnie in Ohio, single-handedly raising the black IQ average if he takes it. Let's
do it.
Nice. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you, brother. Take care.
All right. You too. Bye. Wow. Woo. I have to get to David in Ocala, Florida on the line over here. David, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Perfect timing.
Nice.
How you doing?
Doing well.
All right, I called you to ask you if you heard about this Ryan Hinton case.
I heard about
Out of
that. Yeah,
Cincinnati.
JLP covered that the other day, a couple of days in a row, actually,
did he?
about this young 18-year-old black kid, young man, not a kid, who, according to body cam footage that I believe I saw, was running from the police, and the police said, he has a gun, and then he shot and killed him. And then after that, the 38-year-old father of that 18-year-old deceased young man, the father goes and runs down and drives over and kills a retired cop who was working at traffic, it's kind of a traffic cop.
Detail, yeah.
At a graduation local there. Where was that? Cincinnati?
Yes,
and so now he's charged with cop killing murder, and he's being all defiant, mad dog, looking at the cops and being angry, and the family, who's not charged with any crimes at this point, they're like, "Oh, suspend judgment." What? Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to say he's got mental illness. Okay, so
yeah, I'll say
he does. The father, this is how stupid they are, doesn't even kill a cop from the same department. He just driving down the road, sees this traffic guy out there, white guy. Now, I guarantee if he was black, he wouldn't have ran him over.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe, yeah.
But he would. If he would have saw he was a black cop, excuse me, he probably wouldn't have ran him over. And
you might be right.
Man,
a lot of blacks do think like that. Although they will verbally attack black cops for being blacks and cops.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, the cop's name was Larry Henderson.
The deceased. Killed. Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
rest in peace. And he was retired. He was like a decent guy.
Yeah,
right?
They just called him up. Hey, man, can you help us out, make a little cash? So when that dude woke up that morning, he had no idea he was going to get run over.
Of course.
So, that's. I mean, it's
what was the cop's name again? You said
Larry Henderson.
Larry Henderson.
Foster children. I mean, this guy has affected so many people's lives. I mean, the cop was, trying to do the right thing, had some foster children and everything. Now, can you imagine his wife and his family? And see, that's why white people are getting racist, buddy. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
That's why people like me, that when I called you the other week, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's so wrong. And they're fed that false, and I will get to your calls. Hang tight, callers. Appreciate you. Hang in there. They're fed this generations and generations since like the 80s or before that, really. They've been fed this hatred towards cops mainstream in their rap music, in their so-called leadership, among some of their more radical, angry, openly angry, like Black Panthers or New Black Panthers. I forget which group, or maybe both, not sure. JLP would talk about the Black Stone Rangers over in Chicago or somewhere. Crazy, man. What a shame.
Well, even you know who Charleston White is, right?
Yeah, JLP's interviewed him on the phone.
He says he ain't looking at a white person. He ain't worried about white people. He's looking for another brother to take him out.
Right? Yeah, because
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
you never
not just because he's one of the people who tells the truth, I think, about the blacks, but because people go after one another, and they're the most violent. Shout out.
Yeah, so you talked about the rap music. So you never heard that line I typed in the chat?
I didn't recognize it. I did not recognize it.
Yeah, that's from Straight Outta Compton in '89.
I have that song. I have that album. I got it I hadn't repented.
You were a kid?
No, I wasn't a kid, actually. I was out of college. I was working. That was one of the last albums that I bought when I was on my way to being done with buying music and being all into music like that. I got NWA's whatever album.
Oh, you got it. That came out in '89.
I know. Yeah, I got it late. Many years, decades later.
All right, well, here. Since you already knew about that, let me just talk about this real quick, and I'll get off so you can get to other callers. Did you read about this Indian guy that was in Walmart, and there was this white woman in one of those motorized carts? Now,
Okay.
she's got 2 kids. One's like about a 2.5-year-old sitting in between her legs. She's holding a baby. Well, this Indian guy asked her where the Tylenol was or something. Anyway, the baby about fell out of her arms, so he helped her. This is all on tape too. You can see this video, and he helps the baby not fall out of the cart, onto the ground, because the woman about lost control of the child.
Okay.
First off, she shouldn't have been in this cart because she's not even handicapped. She just drives her kids around in it, And so anyway, she falsely accuses this guy of trying to kidnap her child.
Wow.
And it took them 40 days to get this guy out of jail.
Wow. But now, so that's real? How was it recorded? I don't get how it was recorded.
Off of the Walmart
Security
video
camera?
tape. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there was also a guy that was standing around there that witnessed the whole thing.
Yep.
And these cops just railroaded this guy.
Whoa. That's trippy.
He finally just got out of jail like yesterday. The judge gave him a $10,000 bond, and you can tell the case is going to get dropped. The problem is these false accusations, and nothing ever happens to these women.
Yeah. Big time. Man. And that's a white woman giving us white women a bad name. I'm not a white woman, but
Well, they're not all perfect, buddy.
yeah, I know
mean,
that.
There's a lot of crazy white women out there.
Indeed,
buddy.
there are. Falsely accusatory, too, in their heads.
Yeah,
What a
they
mess.
love to falsely accuse you of something that you didn't do.
What a mess.
but,
So shout out to that
know,
Indian man. How long did he stay in jail according to this
He
report
was
that
in
you
40 days, man.
40 days
and
in
40
jail?
nights. Yeah, for being falsely accused.
That's
of some
insane.
woman.
What a
It's
mess.
terrible. It just shows you how messed up everything is. All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Y'all have a great day. Okay?
Appreciate it. You too.
All
Take
right,
care.
later on, man. Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Wow. I have some super chats to read before I get to the calls, back to the calls, guys. And perhaps I'll get to a story or two over here one day soon. We have yesterday, this is funny. Sion gave me that tip. It's sort of amusing. It's making fun of black 911 operators. I guess I'll show it to you. Here, let me paste it. But let me unmute, bring the volume down, and lower. I'm such a boomer. Boom. Boom. Oh, Lord. Complicated business. So this is a 911 operator puppet. It's fake. It's staged, but it's cute. Working at Atlanta Police Department.
Okay, you need us to send a what? An M&M. You say you want some M&Ms. Sir, this is not a time for me to be sending you no candy.
No, man, I ain't say no M&Ms. I said an M&M.
Oh, you mean the paramedics?
Yeah.
Bro, you need to learn how to talk. Baby, I almost hung up in your face. All right, I'm gonna send one now.
I think that's not actually a lady's voice. I think it's a male pretending to be a woman with a woman's puppet. A light-skinned gal, I guess. Wait, this is supposed to be a black gal or a white gal? It just occurred to me. Atlanta Police Department.
Atlanta Police Department, this is Keisha Jones speaking. What's the emergency?
Keisha Jones, that has to be a black gal.
Someone just robbed our store.
Okay, man, where do you work at?
I gotta keep it moving, but thank you, Sion. It was very amusing. Check it out. Sweet. It's the link. You have to copy and paste it, highlight it and copy and paste it. But the link is on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. Very nice. Thank you, Carver, once again for your coffee. Gregatron says, "Really, Hake? Really?" Triple question mark. The suggestion box. I'm getting the suggestion box out. Is the same thing as your spittoon? Spittoon. No U in spittoon. There's no U in spittoon. So I have my snake. There's Joe. There's Joe, always with us. Shout out. No, not to dehumanize, right? All in good, dehumanization, all in good fun, right? No harm meant. We know they're human. We know he's human. He's a person, and we made in the image of God, and we love him, even if he's also a son of Satan, because we love the children of Satan too, if we're Christian. The suggestion box and the spittoon is the same thing? Yeah, because sometimes I'm so disgusted I want to spit. Too. I try not actually to spit, okay? And I also put suggestions. Somebody makes a request or a suggestion. I put it in the suggestion box. You want to put good ideas inside the same container you used to spit in? Double question mark. That's real unprofessional, Hake. Unreal. Use the spittoon, unless it can be spelled U-N-E, S-P-I-T-T-U-N-E. Maybe it can. As a spittoon, you should use the good cup. This is the good cup. Check it out. With the flat earth on top of it. I get so much swag from you guys. I've accumulated so much swag. This is the good cup. It is it says CSA, which stands, instead of USA, CSA, Confederate States of America. And it's a beautiful silver, maybe some bronze, a bronze overlay type of thing, maybe perhaps. Goblet, cup. Perhaps I could use this for this suggestion box. Suggests Gregatron. Thank you, Gregatron. I shall put your request as I ponder it, because I don't want to make any sudden changes, in my current suggestion box, whether to use the good cup for a replacement suggestion box. I do need to find a use for this. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Confederate States of America. Shout out to the Confederates, our Christian American brothers. America is in the name. American. Confederate. Our brothers. They're not losers. They're not traitors. You're a loser. You're a traitor if you call them losers and traitors. But you are also our fellow American. You sleazebags who want to say that the beautiful Southern Confederates are losers and traitors. You're just a communist who doesn't know better, or you're brainwashed by the communists and you don't know better, and we love you anyway, if we're a Christian. How's that for a suggestion? Also, I never called myself a B-A-N. B-word, A-word, N-word. Gregatron did not. I stand corrected, Gregatron. Steven called me a Diane, D-I-A-N. That's a dumb, ignorant A-word. Knee, like knees. Grow. Okay, yeah, I knew it was something that had some word that starts with N at the end. Thank you, Gregatron. I love how black people talk when it comes to stuff like that. Like they instead of there. Yeah. This is already non-pithy enough. Thank you, Gregatron. I appreciate that. He's always supportive. And he bought me a coffee with that, which I really appreciate, because he tends to prefer the Streamlabs, as does Lin Yan Chin. I don't even know if Lin Yan Chin can get this buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report to work. Thank you, sir. That's cool. Thanks for the correction. Yeah, he's a Diane, not a ban. B-A-N. B-A-N is what Bagel Queen called that black guy at the bagel shop. A B-word, A-word, N-word. And then she said it full-blown on my show, and I had to hang up on her. And then she started to say the F-word for not morally straight, I think. But I hung up on her mid-word because it was getting too vulgar. And I had let the call go out of control. I repent. Ego is real. Bought a coffee. Mark Carney, as the Canadian Prime Minister. Cars manufactured in Canada are built using 50% United States parts. Wow. Our two countries have a unique partnership. This is what Mark Carney purportedly said, I guess. One that we want to continue and expand. Trump, in response, we don't want anything from Canada. Mark Carney, would you please stop referring to Canada as the 51st state? Asks Mark Carney. Trump, response, no. And laughing face side tilted with tears coming out. Ego Israel. I love it. That's another thing I love about Trump. Ronnie, I give him an A+ on that purported interaction if Ego Israel is telling me the truth on any level. And he doesn't tend to lie. Thank you, man. Shout out to our greatest president, Trump. But that goes with his spirit. That goes with the tariff thing, and that goes with his thinking outside of the box. Trump gets an A+ from Hake on those counts. Very nice. Appreciate you guys hanging in there. And Daniel in Tejas has been on hold forever and ever and ever. Amen. Daniel, thanks for calling and holding. You're live.
Hey, James. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
So I wanted to follow up on health and wellness and dietary habits and exercise.
Thank you, man. Right on.
Yeah. I don't, I typically listen to the listen line, so I don't really see you, but I don't think you're getting fat. I don't see it.
Right on.
You know, when I look at what you did, your earlier shows 4 years ago to today, I don't see you getting fat. I just don't see it.
Right on. Cool.
Maybe you know something we don't, and I'm sure you do, but I don't see it.
Thanks, man.
The weight list. It is my
Whoa.
professional.
Your phone switched to be all loud all of a sudden, real quick.
Oh, hold on.
It switched to Bluetooth or something.
Yeah, it went to Bluetooth on its own.
Yeah.
I switched it back.
Thanks.
The weightlifting, you have muscles. It's not like you don't have muscles.
Right.
You have muscles, and I think a proper diet is, because it's my understanding that, and I emphasize my understanding because I could be wrong, that your diet, a bad diet, will require like 5,000 hours in the gym. Like, you have 5,000 hours to spend in the gym, James?
No. Yeah, no. I definitely I don't have any intention at all. I have the intention, I have the desire to spend like an hour a day, maybe more on like a Saturday, or maybe 90 minutes or something.
Right.
Sometimes maybe don't do anything, but I prefer to do something every day, even just walking for at least like a half an hour or an hour every day.
The bodybuilding stuff that's overkill. Like, I'm just not. I don't think that's necessary.
Right. It's good to. I don't think Robert gave me bad advice with the, the exercising.
Fine. Yeah. The barbell.
Yeah. Not that I'm going to do it, but I'm not saying whether I'm going to do it or not. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the suggestion box.
I have those things. I have those things because I want to have those things, and I use them.
Nice.
But I don't think it's necessary.
Right.
I think it's a luxury to have those things. I've worked hard to be able to afford those things. I find that a gym membership has caused me problems in the past, and so I got those things for myself.
Nice.
But I don't think it's a requirement for everybody to go out and buy a gym equipment. It's a hobbyist thing.
I've heard that most people are under-muscled, and I believe that to be the case.
Yeah.
You want to be strong.
I don't think that's you, though. I wouldn't call you under-muscled. You have muscle, so I don't think that's you. But I agree with much of what Robert says. I just don't think it's a reality to say, hey, man, go get a barbell and push your body to exhaustion every day for 2 weeks. It's like, okay, and you're gonna pay for this? Like, where am I gonna find the time to do this stuff, right?
I could replace I have the muscles that the musculature that I have wanted to commit myself to do, like Joelle Friday said, like Pearl said on the Punchie TV. I don't know if you caught Punchie TV with Pearl, but she talked about.
I did see that.
She said she made the comparison to something. She made some parallel about if they really if these women really wanted to get better, or if a man really wanted to get fit, he would be exercising. And if a woman wanted to get better, she would change rather than just complain about it. Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, these things have a cost ratio, and fitness, it takes a lot out of you. When you go to the gym, and it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot of energy out of you, so that when you go to work or when you're trying to sleep, a big thing is not being able to sleep. It's hard to sleep when you got your adrenaline pumping.
Right. I try not to exercise too excessively after 6 p.m. because, come like 8, 9 o'clock, I want to be sleeping.
Yeah. So all of those things are a factor. And your muscles will be twitching. They'll be keeping you awake.
That's funny.
Even if you exhaust yourself.
Well, don't worry about me. I'm definitely not going to fall for that at this point. I injure a touch easier than I want to right now. And so I don't when I exercise, say I do like push-ups or crunches or pull-ups or whatever. I don't do it to failure whatsoever. I try to do it with good form to mild discomfort.
Yeah.
Your results. Yeah, go ahead.
The results will come outside of the gym. It's basically your lifestyle habits.
Yeah.
It's the things that go against you are the snacking,
right?
The poor nutrition. The gym is that's like a little extra, right? Like that's to burn the carbs, to just get a little bit extra out of your normal natural routine.
Right.
And if your normal natural routine is bad habits, you're not going to get anything with thousands of hours in the gym.
True. Yeah, that
you will break even.
Health comes first, and then fitness. I mean, fitness comes with the with fitness comes the health, but going above and beyond when you're not really paying attention to your eating, and your eating is getting all self-indulgent and out of control, and like Joelle said, Joelle Friday has pointed out, rather than sleeping enough or whatever, you're getting that coffee and rock stars and monsters and stuff like that to accommodate an out of balance life.
Yeah.
And that's just a recipe for beta back.
Yeah.
I finally understand what he meant when he blamed the energy drink for my beta back. Because it's, the lack of sleep messes with your muscles and everything else. And then also you're just tired at the end of like 4 p.m., tired, not feeling like doing anything. And when you're tired, I think you should exercise a little bit anyway. And, just not go out of control, knowing that when you're tired, you're a little more injury prone, and just listen to your body. But pay attention to it, not listen to the laziness of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't worry about me. I have injured myself overdoing stuff, overzealous.
Yeah.
Especially starting back, having that false urgency. But I think I'm past that. It's taken me 20, 30 years to get past injuring myself because of being overzealous. But I am not in danger of being overzealous now. I don't think, hopefully. Unless you catch me, unless you get me into a soccer game, I may kind of, that bit of competitiveness may pull me into doing more than I really should.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I'm okay.
Yeah, the diet is really what's going to get you wherever you want to be.
Yeah.
Everything else is just kind of it's an extra. It's a little cherry on top.
One of the things my brother learned in college, we went to community college. He and I both did. There was the fitness guy, the PE teacher, whatever he was, said that you should systematically undereat. And that's a nice, I think that's a nice statement. Systematically undereat to live better and longer.
If you're in a calorie deficit, it's hard to sleep because people are so wary of going to bed hungry.
Right.
But that's what you have to do.
Interesting.
You have to be willing to do things like go to sleep hungry or roll around in bed, not being able to sleep because you're hungry, but just deal with it. If you're not willing to do that, then you're just going to eat until you're satiated and fall asleep and then rinse and repeat. And the next thing you know, you've gained additional weight.
Yeah. And a lot of the times if I notice that if I don't eat enough though of like the good food, including meat for my take, whatever. Yeah. I know that you don't. But if I don't eat enough of that,
I do eat meat. It's just I fast, so sometimes I cut meat out.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're not full blown vegan.
I just say that whenever I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
So for certain stretches of days on end, you may go vegan for a while.
Right.
But anyway, if I don't eat enough of a meal to be not necessarily full, but if I don't eat enough, I will end up going for snacks. And the snacks are worse than if I had just eaten enough of the decent enough food. But you're right to put up with pangs of hunger and get to where you actually have pangs of hunger. JLP once asked me, more than once, do you ever get hungry? Do you ever like wait until you get hungry? So it's interesting. Good points all around. Yeah. Appreciate the input as always, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you move on.
Sounds good. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Daniel in Tejas. And William the 7th in California. Thank you, man. I'm going to try to get to all of you. What's up, man? William, come off of mute. I think you're on mute, William. Number 7. Yeah, boomer. You Gen X boomer. Going once, going twice. I'll put y'all back on hold, and we'll check on you. Nice. Stephanie is calling back. Bagel Queen herself. Stephanie, are you there?
Hey.
Hey. How you doing?
Good. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
So I just wanted to apologize because I reflected on the call I had with you yesterday, and you were right about me being angry. But I'm actually just angry that my mother didn't watch the kids so I could go do that show that I'm not going to name drop.
Thanks.
And I feel like if I had gone on that show, maybe things would have turned around for me. Maybe my books would have been put back on Amazon, and I could have made some money that way. Like, that's all I ask for in life. I'm not asking for $1 million for dropping a slur. So
right. Yeah. I totally accept. I get you. I urge you. Do you want my advice?
Sure. Yeah.
I urge you to drop that, let it go, forgive your mother, let that whole situation go from your mind, if you will. Let it bother you, but realize that it's no use, it's no good.
Yeah, it's like it's trying to gin me up to go out there and do something that'll get me more attention in a negative way, and I don't want to fall for that trap either.
Right. Because you somewhat listen to and somewhat agree with, if I'm not mistaken, JLP on his spiritual message. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, I did forgive my mother. I mean, I'm Catholic, so I don't really do the silent prayer, but I still consider myself a Christian.
Have you checked it out?
I did try it, but it reminded me too much of transcendental meditation, which kind of gave me a scary experience with the sleep demon paralysis, and I'd rather stick to the Catholic stuff.
Oh, okay. Right on.
But I saw you did mention in the comments about Danny, the J6er that I'm involved with, and like I would much rather be a first lady someday and let my husband be out there taking all the shots. And right now, like Danny, he did serve his sentence last year, and he's going to law school so he can get a degree and then run for office and be a politician the right way. So maybe someday I'll be the first lady who once dropped the N-word. I'm not trying to be an e-girl or an influencer or anything. And I just wish these women would show a little more solidarity towards white women like me, Central Park Karen, City Bike Karen, when they're saying that, you know, other women have been victimized. It is true. This does kind of put a bounty on our heads as white women that we can't stand up for ourselves. And it would be nice if these women getting this attention would just acknowledge their predecessors.
Right. I get you. I definitely acknowledged you. I thought of you. I mean, I didn't really mention your name until you called in, but other people did think of you, and you weren't the first. I don't know if you saw the Dr. Laura thing, or if you ever heard of it, but you were definitely a bright star in the constellation of white women who have said the N-word and gone viral over it. Nice.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, James. I got to go.
Sounds good. Take care, Stephanie. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Nice. Yeah, Danny, I guess was his name. He was a January 6er, and he set foot in the Capitol building. I think he accidentally stepped through like a broken open window, meaning he thought it was like the door maybe, but I'm not sure. He was in there for like all of 30 seconds, and then he left. And then the FBI, according to him, raided his home. And I tended to believe that story. I could believe that story. What a mess. Is William good to go now? Okay. Gracias. William, number 7.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can. So you were answering and I just couldn't hear you?
I don't know. It might have been the signal, the building that I work in.
Totally.
It could have been me. Because I'm a mess right now.
Okay.
My allergies are
yeah.
pontificating my gluteus maximus.
Wow.
Sorry about that Latin. I couldn't help but use some Latin there.
Right.
Did you know when you refer to the body and medicine, you're usually talking about Latin? They usually use Latin words.
Yeah. I think I knew that. And same thing with like genus and family and species and stuff. They tend to use like a Latin word, the proper Latin word for like a horse. What's the proper Latin word for a horse? I don't know.
That would be, bovine is cow.
Yeah.
Equine.
Yeah, that's right. Something like that.
And then porcine, I think, goats. I forget what things are. Yeah.
It's good to hear from you, man. Thanks for holding.
Yeah, man.
Calling back.
Hey, you're welcome. It's been quite it's my original statement was my hometown. They've been protesting on Main Street, and a bunch of people get signs on one side. Usually, it's the liberals on one side, and I was driving by, and I guess it's different every Wednesday. The subject's different on what they protest.
Yeah.
And this one lady, I will go by, and her sign said, I have so much outrage, it will not fit on this sign.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
these ladies.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help but laugh. I chuckled, know, and I so wanted to jump out of my vehicle. But, I was at work in a company vehicle and with a company shirt on. So, I can't be jumping out and even I've seen it when I've been off duty, and I've went in there just to talk to them. It was about abortion. Man, they just because you're a male, they just immediately start screaming and yelling. And I just asked them like some simple questions, and they got crazy angry, and I'm like, you can't even have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that's all about, and if they're getting paid or what. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It really is.
Activists.
And they stand there right on the crossroads where we have two major roads that intersect. One goes over the river and the highway of I-5, and one goes through all the downtown, the nice area. And then if you keep going south, it goes to the bad area,
Yep.
The same in all cities and towns,
Yeah.
So, that was a good Punchie. I liked Pearl. She was quite a breath of fresh air, I guess. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, of course. Definitely. Pearl Davis on
real.
Punchie TV.
Yeah,
that was
really. Where can I find a woman like that here in where I live?
Well, she doesn't call herself any kind of exception to what she's talking about. She is very well researched on what's going on. She reminds me of Ann Coulter in that way, and of these guys who do research as well, like Vincent James and others. And they just know what they're talking about, and they're honest and real about it, rather than these phony researchers and experts and things who. Yeah. It's funny because the stereotypes are true, basically, in general.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
And, she was just saying what she's observed.
Exactly.
She's interviewed a lot of people. She's just being honest, you know. And many times did she say, "Hey, you may think that, but this is the reality. This is what people have told me behind closed doors."
She knows statistics too.
Yeah. She's like a young female Jordan Peterson.
Interesting. You might be right.
Yeah, I think so. She maybe could be good friends with his daughter. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Nice.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm just struggling here with my allergies. I'm just horrible. I'm miserable right now. And,
that's interesting, man.
So
wish you well with that.
I went home for the day.
Okay.
So, so I'm off work now. And
I forget, are you fat or fit?
Oh, good question. In the past, I used to be in good shape.
Didn't we all?
Right now, I am fat and fit.
Oh, okay. So, fat and fit is better than just fat. I can tell you that for sure.
I almost benched 200 the other day. I
nice.
Didn't quite do it.
They say that I can bench 200 plus or minus. Plus or minus. So right on, man. That's good.
Man, a year ago I was doing 225. I was doing
right on.
Plate.
Yeah.
But
that doesn't necessarily mean you're fit. That means you're strong with the bench. But anyway, right on.
So
typical Gen X.
I went for a 13-mile walk not too long ago.
Oh wow. that's a long one.
And I didn't know that was hella long. That's half a marathon. There was a friend of mine, a brother in the Lord, a real one, not a fake one.
Yeah.
And we just went to go for a walk, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go. I used to run this, and I'm thinking, 3, 4, 5 miles, maybe, And we were walking, and when I saw where we were going, we went out of town. We were heading towards the country, and I'm like, "Hey, we got to turn around and go back, right?" It turned out to be 13-mile walk. 4 hours.
I remember I walked a lot when I broke my collarbone in high school because I couldn't really run yet. I didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I went so far. I walked up to like the end of the horse trail where I used to run for high school and back.
Nice.
And it was I was so tired that I was so tired of walking that I wished I could crawl. Because you're running and then you want to stop and walk, but I couldn't stop and walk because I was already walking. And so I wanted to crawl. It was crazy.
So when you got done, it sounds like you're describing what happened to me one time. It happened this last time with my friend, but I was beyond tired. I was sore and achy. Not that I couldn't walk anymore, but my joints were achy. Like my hips were achy, my ankles were achy.
Oh yeah, something like that. It definitely felt just this general,
and then I ran
really
out of water.
Overbearing discomfort.
Yeah, and I ran out of water, which makes a big difference if you go too long without water.
I know.
And I remember the other time when I did it, right I remember being done and in my house drinking water, and my ears were making this noise, like I could hear like my heartbeat in my ears, and I was feeling really dizzy.
Oh,
So
wow.
I drank a bunch of water. I clocked how far I walked that day, which was 10 miles, and I went to go eat, and I just remember just feeling like I was high. I literally felt high, like I was floating.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
It's great
But,
hearing from you,
but
man.
no,
I
I
got to
can
keep
walk
it
up-
moving. Thank you, William.
bless you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, take care.
All right, take care. Pardon me. I just came to and realized I was dilly-dallying, and I don't have time for that. Wayne in Houston, Texas, what's up, man? Are you there? Wayne in Texas, going once. I hear clicking. Come off of mute or something. Wayne, he's trying.
I'm here.
Okay, good. I was about to
How are
put you
you?
on hold. Hey, doing well.
How you been?
Been fine, thank you. Good to hear from you.
Oh, yeah. So I just had a few things. There was a lady that just commented about she's a Catholic.
Yeah.
And she tried doing the silent prayer.
Yup.
I find that, like, when I do the silent prayer, there seems to be a wall between, I don't know how to express it, but it's like I get better dreams, more vivid dreams, and more. I have a phenomenal, really, really nice, exciting kind of science fiction dreams and all that kind of stuff like that. So I think when
After
you do the
silent prayer? Or before doing that?
Huh?
Are you saying you get dreams? I zoned out. When do you get
Yeah.
these dreams? From praying?
Oh, just not while I'm doing it, you know.
Afterwards, though?
But like when I go to bed, I'll get it, and sometimes I'll be doing the silent prayer, and
Yeah.
I can see myself going into a dream, and then of course
Wow.
sometimes I fall asleep, right? And then I wake up, and so I find myself a lot closer to the dream world. I just wanted to let her know that if she's scared, that's not good. You're not supposed to be. I don't. When I started doing the silent prayer, and I came in contact with Jesse,
Uh-huh.
I just lost all my fear of everything. I mean, I used to be scared of needles. you know?
Right.
And I mean, just taking an injection. I mean, I remember fainting when my wife was getting needles and stuff like that. And I can just put my hand out today and just say, "Go ahead, do what you want to do." I
Wow,
have
right on.
no
You don't
fear
get into your head
whatsoever.
about the needles. That's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't have any fear anymore. So I just wanted to let her know that she should try to get rid of her fear, first
Yeah.
of all. And just, it's going to reveal the real person that she is. It's not religious. It doesn't have to be. I'm a Catholic also.
Okay.
Oh, I did my first communion, my confirmation, and all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm now a born again Christian. So I wanted to encourage her in that.
That's really cool, man. That's good advice. She made the comment that it reminded her of something called transcendental meditation. And I guess she had tried that. Many young
Yeah.
people do this crazy Eastern type stuff and New Agey type stuff. And people will try to compare silent prayer to like New Agey or Eastern meditation. And I don't really know what they're talking about because I don't know about that stuff, I
Yeah,
know
me neither.
about
Me neither. I've never tried. I've heard about it, and I know they do all kind of crazy stuff. They have gongs, and some of them have chants, and
yeah.
I don't know what they do. The
I
one
think-
that Jesse does is the one in the Bible. It's actually in the Bible, guys. It's if you want to find it in the Bible, go to Matthew 6. Matthew 6 teaches you about the single-eye prayer. He actually says this. Jesus himself recommends the single-eye prayer. And then if you go to Matthew 5, Jesus himself recommends that if you come to him and you have someone that has something against you, you need to go and forgive before you come to him. Put your gift at the altar, go and forgive your brother, and then come back. So Matthew 5 and 6, it's actually Jesus. That's what Jesus taught. This is not what Jesse's teaching.
Wow. I wasn't aware of that. I don't remember any one eye thing.
Yeah, 6 and 22. But it has to be the King James Version, 6:22.
Okay.
He talks about the single eye. If your eye be single, and then your whole body will have light.
Yeah.
But if your eye be evil, then how dark is that evil that you have?
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's what you're referring to. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I in the silent prayer, the blog post about the silent prayer on the rebuildingtheman.com/prayer, it talks about like take no thought for your life, seek first the kingdom of God, all things will be added, do not worry, be perfect.
That's all in Matthew 6.
Yeah, and in Matthew 5, be perfect, love your enemies.
Right.
And nice.
And I think in Luke 17, it tells you that the kingdom of God is within you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle of Luke 17. So it's all there. Jesse's not making this stuff up.
I know. He's like, he's more biblical than the Bible thumpers, but they don't see it. But hey,
they don't see it, yeah.
That's life.
They don't have the peace. So they try and, they can't see. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting, man. And you're right. I remember before I ever found Bond JLP, when I was in my college days especially, I would wake up screaming.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever had what they called sleep paralysis, where you couldn't move, but sometimes I would wake up and feel like there was something in the room, or thought that I saw something, and just have fear, like screaming. I was scared.
Yeah, but you know what sleep paralysis is, right?
Yeah, it's where you wake up and something feels like it's on you and you can't move.
Well, the scientific thing about it is that when you go to sleep, your body disconnects from your spirit or whatever. I don't know what to call it, your soul or whatever. That's so when you run in your dream, your body will not run on the bed.
Oh, okay. So it's basically going into your
every night
imagination.
you go through that process where your body becomes disconnected.
Where you imagine that you're doing stuff that you're not actually doing. That's what a dream is.
Right.
And you
so
really
whenever
think
you
that you're
wake
doing
up, when you wake up,
yeah,
that means that you're still in that state where your body has not connected.
Wow. That's
and therefore
crazy.
you're trying to move your body, but it's not connected yet. You probably woke up too suddenly.
Yeah.
And it's just not connected.
It's
so
better than sleepwalking, right?
Not moving. Yeah, huh?
It's better than sleepwalking and
better than
killing.
Sleepwalking, yeah. yeah. Yeah.
Wow, man. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Where are you from again? What's your
I'm from St. Lucia. I was born in the Caribbean.
That's how it's pronounced, St. Lucia?
Yeah.
Okay.
You heard about it?
Yeah, I've seen that name. I always called it St. Lucia, but it's St. Lucia.
Oh, yeah. That's the Spanish way of saying it, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
But we say St. Lucia.
What's your native tongue, out of curiosity?
Well, the island is so beautiful that it changed hands between the French and the English 14 times.
Oh, wow. So French
before
and English?
It finally remained English or British.
Oh, so you have an English accent? Or what is this?
Yeah, my grandparents, though, didn't speak any English. They only spoke a broken language called patois, which is French.
Oh, okay.
So I speak French a little bit. I speak a little bit of a little bit of Spanish, because the French and Spanish are similar.
Yeah.
But I have a good, nice French accent.
That's cool.
Bonjour, monsieur, comment ça va?
Whoa. I don't know how to speak French at all.
Ça va bien?
That sounds so cool.
Yeah. You have to sing French.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I have more stuff, but I'm going to give other people a chance to chime in.
Great call, Wayne in Houston, Texas, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Guys. I shouldn't say guys so much. But rather than saying guys, I shall say Mark in Los Angeles, you get priority tomorrow. If I'm live tomorrow, which I should be. And Ryan in Illinois, you get priority tomorrow. If I'm live tomorrow, which I should be. You know, if the Lord is willing, of course. But Joel Friday TV is coming up next. I got to be done in less than a minute. So we're going to wrap up over here. And can I play a little song here? Hake songs. 30 seconds. Hake News Rap. I keep on playing this. It's good, though. Adri.
Don't take the bait.
Bye, guys.
You know that they are fake. I rest my case. There's no debate. Listen to Hake. He tells it like it should. Them posers wish they could. They roaming around in the ground. Watch out, they lying now. Call me networks, evil snakes. That's why we listen to Hake. Hake. The Hake News.